Let's talk about red light therapy, but with a twist. I want to show you how I layer red light therapy on my clients and on myself with other devices that I love so that you get the best results possible in the shortest amount of time possible. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Christine Byer here, licensed esthetician for 24 years. And I have been doing facials here in my treatment room and other treatment rooms for the last 24 years. And I love to mix me up some devices. If you know me at all, I am the queen of layering devices. I've worked with red light therapy since 2001, if you can imagine. It's all the craze now, but 2 decades I've been working with it. Okay, so let me tell you how I love to layer in red light therapy, AKA LED. So many of my clients tell me they have a hard time finding time to take care of their skin and use all these devices. So I was sharing with the client that what I like to do is I'll take a favorite device, and right when I jump out of the shower, I will grab a microcurrent device or any other muscle lifting device that you like. I will grab this and I will just go to town doing the vectors. I will just go to town. I like to grab two, y'all, because I am the queen of multitasking as well. And so I will do all the vectors, you know, this is a vector, this is a vector. Vectors are moves that cut across areas of common facial sag in the face. And before I do my nighttime skincare routine, I will put on LED. So right, with a clean face, you can jump out of the shower, slather on some conductive gel, and then do your devices. Take that off, and then do the LED, take that off, and then do your nighttime routine. So that's one way. After I get out of the shower, that is when I will do my LED. I will turn on, you know, I'll have a clean face, or a lot of times I like to put on an ampule, for example, just something very hydrating that's not going to occlude the light. It doesn't have any color, it's clear, so it's not going to block the light in any way. This is one of my favorite ampules. Then I will go in with something very calming and cooling and hydrating before I put on my LED. Now this is clear. This is the Dr. SD ampule. It's like a pure drink of water for the skin. It's rose water and probiotics and epidermal growth factor in the form of snail mucin filtrate, and it's very nice. And you see, that just is color free, and it just adds a nice drink of water into the skin. And when you're doing LED, the skin gets thirstier, and so red light therapy makes the skin thirstier. You may notice this and you may not, but it really does demand more from the skin than just our regular moisturizers. That's why I like to add in layers of hydration when I'm doing LED, actually every day, but especially when I'm using devices. My skin just gets so thirsty. I've done my muscle lifting, and then I go in, I sort of seal the deal with LED, and that's the way I'd like to layer in red light therapy with my devices. I always like to do the aggressive stuff first and then do this. Now, red light therapy is so anti-inflammatory that another thing I love to use it for is post-aggressive treatments. So if you're microneedling at home, or God forbid doing any heavier peels, please don't unless you're a pro, going in with LED afterwards is very anti-inflammatory. Now, in that case, you'd probably want a panel or to hold your device away from the skin, because it's probably going to be letting off quite a bit of heat. But just know that that is going to really jumpstart that healing process. And I like to use it because it helps. It's like my insurance policy that nobody's going to have any adverse reactions afterwards. So those are 2 ways I like to build red light therapy into my routine, my client's routine. Just pop it in there right after one device, one muscle lifting device, or even RF. After RF, you can use this. You can use, you know, of course they have the face. This is the Omnilux. I love the Omnilux because it hits at 2 different levels. And so it's really getting the deeper skin and the top layer of the skin, and really, really making a change in that skin over time. They also have a hand unit. I love this because my right hand, for some reason, it's not my dominant hand, but it gives me trouble all the time. And I'm getting some arthritis, you know, right through here. And I'm like, geez, it's not even my dominant hand. So I will even double up on this. These are 10-minute sessions, but a lot of times I'll just double up when I have arthritis. I mean, because it really helps with pain relief. Now, for beauty, we're not really allowed to say that, but for me, as a consumer of red light therapy, I can tell you it helps a lot. That and the Anma, working on all those areas, because lately I've been trying to do some yoga, and the downward dog is just excruciating for me because of this. And so this is helping quite a bit. That is how you would layer in LED. Just make sure whatever you use underneath it is clear, it has no acids in it, because it will drive whatever you put on your skin beforehand deeper into the skin. And then, yeah, just after some sort of muscle toning device, and it's just like, bam, bam, I'm done. And who wants to spend hours on the routine? These little guys are a godsend. You want to use these 3 times a week. Fairly easy to fit into anybody's routine. That's why I love it, because I'm all about doing fast facials, and well, not in my treatment room, they go on for like 90 minutes, but when I'm working on myself, I want to get this done. If I only do the muscle lifting, I notice on my neck, it's not quite enough energy to really get it to look its best. Used to be, but now that I'm 55, that just doesn't cut it. Just a single session of electric muscle stimulation or microcurrent, it's not enough because I don't do it long enough. And if I want to get just some done, what I found out is if I am sort of microdosing these devices and using them for less time, I have to stack it with red light therapy for it to look its best in the shortest amount of time. It energizes the skin and helps it look, it just looks more snatched. When I do the muscle lifting through here, because it's such a thin muscle, almost it will make the muscles look heavier until I use the red light therapy. And then, because I can tell, I'll go like this and I feel like, oh, it's just billowy. And then I use red light therapy and I go like this and it's just like svelte, you know, it's just snatched. So there is a difference, especially to my eye as an esthetician for 24 years. I really see a difference in that 1-2 punch of the muscle lifting and then adding in that red light therapy.